All right, guys, we are going to try this again. I was in the middle of a live video a few seconds ago and I yelled at my son. I was talking about photobombing the video, and my son photobombed the video. Then he decided to climb on the couch behind me to further photobomb the video. And he stepped on top of my other son's drawing, which was on top of some of my comics. So my comics got stepped on. So he's kind of raised my voice a little and didn't like go ape crazy, just raised my voice a little, but that sent him into tears. So then I had to apologize, and I figured it just didn't look good having a video where I'm yelling at my son. So sorry about the lighting in here. We are a full house. I've got my brother from another mother and his wife living here, and their niece, and they're at the kitchen table where I usually do my shows from. My niece, sorry, their daughter, my niece. Bye, sweetie. And so my house, we're also trying to move. We've got an offer in our house. We put in an offer in another house. So a lot of things are packed up, and there's not really any good place to do these from. Hopefully the software within will figure out how to modulate these lights and make it not blink. My wife just turned on the light. Maybe that'll do it. All right, here we go. First up today is England. You thought this was going to be about comics, but no. England in the semifinals, the World Cup. They were unconvincing in the round of 16, tying Colombia and going ahead on penalties. But I think they were very convincing against Sweden. Sorry, maybe not the toughest opponent, but they really, really looked good, especially the second half. They came through, lost it a bit in the last 10 minutes as Sweden was scrambling. So was England, but I'll take that performance. My friend came over to watch it in his Croatia jersey. I'm headed to his house to watch the Croatia game soon. And if Croatia wins, we've got a Croatia-England semifinal that should be really, really good, and he and I will have a lot of fun watching that one together. His background's Croatian and mine's England, so we're going to enjoy that. All right, let me know who you're supporting in the World Cup. Let me know if you care about the World Cup or if you don't. Just let me know what you think there. I'm going to put that in the comments here. Let us know if you have a team you're behind. Hey, Miss Hustle. Dude, Miss Hustle comes right in with Go England. So, right off the bat, I've got a fan. Thank you very much for that. I don't know, have you been watching Miss Hustle, or are you just kind of supporting from the side? Either way is fine. We'll take all the support we can get. But yeah, I'm excited. World Cup time is always exciting. All right. While we're talking about World Cup, let's also talk about comics. This is start off with a drawing. My son is getting better and better with his drawings. This is a cover to Supadeath. Supadeath is his original character. He is a dead superhero. His only weakness is the living, and that's the background. I don't know if we have an origin story yet. This is the cover that got stepped on by my son that I then made really upset. Well, you can watch a good game in a little bit, Miss Hustle. Croatia's coming up in about 10 minutes. I'll try to end this fast, though I do have a lot I want to chat about. So you can see bent there. This is the sort of thing that might, drives people crazy. But I feel bad because I made my son cry because I yelled at him. So I had a big apology between the last video and this video. Did the right thing, told him I was wrong, and that I'll try to do better, and it wasn't his fault. And so he'll get over it soon because he gets over things quickly. Anyway, I like that he's got this perspective going on. Then he did the flat background. I asked him about that. He said that was intentional. This is like the building that he's jumping from, and then the rest are in the background. So kind of like that. Look for Supadeath at a comic store near you in about 5 or 6 years. His first love and his original and his best creation, I think. You really like Supadeath. Ordered some of those Batman Middleton variants from Sailfish Comics, and I got a DC Nation #0 free. It's my second copy of that. Don't know what I'll do with it because it's a nothing book, but there it is. Astro City 52. If you're not reading Astro City, I highly suggest it for 2 reasons. One reason is Part A and Part B. It's Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross on the covers. The writing and the artwork on these are always impeccable. Kurt Busiek is, I think, a master storyteller. But more importantly, Astro City and Lazarus are both ending their runs as single issue comics. And they're both now going to be published as trades only. In the case of Lazarus, I think it's more like quarterly trades as opposed to monthly comics. In the case of Astro City, I think it is original graphic novels that are going to come out telling stories that are complete and contained. But it's kind of interesting to see the change in the comic book background there, where I think we might see a little bit more of that because comics are becoming expensive and hard to produce, especially when you're an independent and you're really working hard to tell the story you want to tell, and the deadline is your own. It's kind of difficult. So I think price-wise too, these get expensive buying them every month. We're going to see maybe a change in the atmosphere of comics. I think this might be something to look out for, is other comics going into trade only format. Let us know what you think. First of all, let us know your World Cup team and let us know what you think about comics and this idea of publishing not trades after the single issues or as collections, but trades only or original graphic novels only for your property. Continuing with Lumberjanes, still loving Lumberjanes. This is 51. They're still got half the crew in the tunnels underneath the camp, and the rest of them on top. But after the big 50 celebration, this came out. Still find that to be a fun comic. Descender is great, but it's not great and fascinating in the way that there's like something new or wonderful for me to love about it all the time. And this is ending soon. And then they're coming out with Ascender, which is, I think, a prequel to it. Not that excited to read that, and I probably will drop it. I don't think I will go for Ascender. Descender's enough. And I'm trying to drop my monthly intake because it gets to be a little too much. This is another one which I think there's like 1 or 2 more arcs left, and then it's done. Kind of happy to see this this ending. It's always been a dark comic, and I mean that literally. Right? It's about evil spirits and soul possession and stuff like that, and exorcism of a sort. So it's dark subject matter, and I guess the art's supposed to reflect that. But after a while, you really want some vibrancy for contrast. Even when they're using light colors, it's still a darker palette. So it's good writing. It's an interesting story, but I'm not that invested in the characters that I want to keep watching it or that I'm like madly in love with it. Picked up Death or Glory. Number 2, it's got some dirt there. It was $1 discounted. Read it. I don't think I'll buy the series. It's good. It's not like, holy cow, that's something wonderful. I'd love to read every comic ever, but I just don't have that money. Picked up a Dazzler variant. I do love Magdalene Visaggio. I think she's a great writer. I thought that was a great cover. It's a throwback to Sienkiewicz covers. I don't think that's him on the artwork. I've got to double check that. This was $1 as well because there's a massive spine roll here, but it's not on the front. So I figure for display purposes for $1, I'll be happy to have that. It's not like, it's an expensive comic anyway. Nothing key about it. Just a good story. Mother Panic. This is the only Milk Wars, post Milk Wars comic in the Young Animals universe that I read. Or the Young Animals line, I should say. It's not really universe, though. Right now they're in an alternative universe, and so I don't think that this young Joker character who is new to the story is officially part of the DC universe. But last issue was the first appearance, but it's still a great story. Ibrahim Mustafa is killing on art. Jordan Boyd on colors, and Jody Hauser, it can write the heck out of a comic. Loving the storyline. I love Violet Page, who is the alter ego of Mother Panic. Really, really great. Sad to see the series come to an end. This cover is brighter than I expected. Something about it, like being bright, and then him walking away from that whole vigilante thing. Obviously, throwback to Spider-Man comics. Good story. Ended well. Last few issues I didn't think were as strong, but still a really good story. Ed Brubaker got to end it on his own terms, which I'm sure made him pretty happy. And yeah, Miss Hustle, I do see you there in the chat. I really like that that Dazzler cover too. Really nice. I was on an auction last week. I'm going to forget whose auction it was, to be honest with you, but I won this from C. Woodard. He just had a few JSAs. I am collecting this run because I think this run by Geoff Johns is wonderful storytelling, really amazing. Every time I see Power Girl, I just laugh. It's just lame. If you like those Power Girl covers, like just go buy Penthouse magazine. I don't know why you got to do that, because it detracts from the overall awesomeness of the cover itself. I got no problem with voyeurism or looking at a hot chick, but you know, you can do that without that being the sole focus of a comic. Just my 2 cents worth. So I was really excited to get those JSAs because, you know, Power Girl notwithstanding, I think it's a great, great comic and a great run. And Geoff Johns, when he's writing, man, at his best, that's a great example of it. Picked up another one of these from Trinity Comics. I had 3. I sold 2. I had 1. I got another one. The reason why I wanted to get a double is I can get G. Willow Wilson to sign it. I usually see her once a year at Free Comic Book Day. She's usually in town in Seattle, not far from Tacoma. And the guy who wrote one of these other stories, I can't remember which one, James Robinson, is also going to be at Rose City Comic Con, so I can get him to sign this. I can get 2 signatures on that. Going for the variant action, this is a second print variant for Champions number 20, the first full appearance of Snowguard. Number 19 has the connecting one, which would go over here and have the beginning of her name. Yeah, Trinity, nice to see you. Didn't see you drop in there. Thanks, man. That's nice. Really nice cover, good condition, and shipped well. Appreciate everything about that. So yeah, I need to get number 19 on this. You know, I didn't realize they're coming out with this, but I saw this. I got this for cover price, which it should be. It's a second print variant, and it's first appearance. 19 is the first cameo, but it's not a major book yet, so don't want to spend big on that. Was happy to find that for cover. Boom! Everybody knows about Miss Marvel now, so it's not like that number 2 Jorge Molina variant, but I have 5 of these. I ordered 1 from Comic Exposure. Then I ordered 3 more because I figured that's crazy. And then I picked this one up on the store. It's actually, I got it for cover price. I was like, cool. So if anybody missed this and wants to make a trade, I'd be happy to trade for it. You know, it's a great cover. I want to keep 2, but I don't think I need 5. Maybe I do. Who knows? And then just continuing with the story, there's 31. Really good story. Cool to see all these writers on it. Different takes on the character, but you know, having a sleepover with their friends, I think, brings back who and what that comic is all about. Found this in my LCS. All New Wolverine number 1, the John Tyler Christopher action figure variant. I thought that was pretty cool. And I guess I'm picking up the X-23 run officially now because I've got most of them. You know, these runs, sometimes you see a few covers you want and you get them, and then you find a few more that are cheap and you buy those. And before you know it, you're like, well, I better complete this run because there's not much you can do about it at that point. Little naughty here. They actually upped the price of these now to $5.69. Get it? Ha 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 ha. Used to be $4.69. I actually didn't get the regular one of this, so I haven't read it. I always keep these in the poly bags. I think I've got all the XXX covers, and only a few of them are out of poly bags. But you can always look up the images online, so I don't need to open this up to see what's what. But really like that. I actually haven't seen that picture yet. I got to look that one up online. Just haven't had time recently. Boom. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So she's an adopted daughter. This is the first appearance of Princess Fisk. Kind of shot up. It'll probably shoot down in price. I got it for 10. But you forget, like, this is a really popular character because I think Brandon Montclair can write the heck out of a comic. I think we sometimes forget that, how absolutely well Moon Girl is written, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's sticking around to number 32. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've also got the Omnipotentus one, so I've got a few of the keys. I've got the hip hop cover to number 1, so doing pretty well with my Moon Girls. And it's interesting hearing all the stuff that I don't think it's rare. I think it came out and everybody bought them up, and then Princess Fisk either will or will not be a character, and people, that people are interested in. So, 2 months from now, you can probably get this for $5. Right now, you can find it for 20. I was lucky to get it for 10. I wouldn't have gotten it except I had that the 25 and the number one. I thought, okay, I've got some Moon Girl keys. I've got the Moon Girl with Miss Marvel, so I picked up a few of those, but probably not like a super deal or anything. I doubt it's going to go up much more unless Princess Fisk becomes something. But she could be a one and done for this story arc, and then you never see her again, or he loses control, not control, he loses parental rights to her or something, and then she goes back to the orphanage, or Moon Girl, maybe her parents adopt her and he loses her and she becomes a major figure. Who knows? Right now it's not rare, it's just a little pricey because there is a new appearance, as these things tend to do. I heard a podcast on the way to school. Sometimes I download podcasts and play them in the car instead of listening to radio. And somebody said that Kamandi Challenge #9 was the best comic single issue of 2017. And they may be right. Tom King, who can write really well, we know from Batman, we know from Vision, we know from Mr. Miracle, we know from Sheriff of Babylon, we know from Omega Men. All of those are great series, by the way. I'm not joking. From his Batman Elmer Fudd crossover. Holy cow, that was good. But even this, I didn't know about the Kamandi Challenge. Apparently, it's a different author on every issue, and you have to pick up your story from where the last author left off. So actually, now I'm interested in picking up the trade on this. But this single issue here by Tom King, really written well. Really a great story. I cannot recommend it enough. It is one of those just really great stories, those single issues where you're like, wow, that was fun to read. Picked up Little Rat Queens variant. This was the Dave Ork special, which I think is one of my favorite stories of the whole Rat Queens thing. Is this an excellent story? And this is not the Ork Dave. This is the Braga issue, which is also a great issue. Tess Fowler had falling out with Curtis Weavy a little bit after this, so it's kind of sad. Trinity, you might be absolutely right. I don't have the background knowledge to say that, because I never read Snyder's Batman. I read the metal stuff, but I haven't read his Batman run, so I don't know. But I would agree with you about King. Like, I hated the Booster Gold pre-wedding stuff. I haven't read 50 yet, no spoilers. I'm pretty sure I've read enough that I know what happens, but I haven't actually read it yet. But yeah, I would agree with you. Like, there are some stories where I love it. The stuff with Ra's al Ghul's daughter, yeah. But some of the other arcs, the annual #2 was amazing. So Tom King can write, but I agree, he's not at his best with Batman. Court of Owls, absolutely, I need to read that because I've heard a lot about it. Can you pick the whole thing up in like one omnibus or something? Because that might be the way to go for me. I would like to read a bit more of that stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. There are some good arcs, and I think his good arcs are great. The War of Jokes and Riddles, I think, was really good. The very first couple issues with Gotham Girl, I thought was a nice setup for that, Gotham Guy and Gotham Girl. But yeah, there have been a few misses with Tom King. I think he's much better on the smaller properties, like 12 issues on Vision. The volume 1 for New 52 is okay, got you. I will look that up then. Thanks. What he's doing, Mr. Miracle, and if you haven't read Sheriff of Babylon, which was out by Vertigo, the best, hands down, best thing I've ever read about like the Iraq War or something in post-Iraq. I guess it's not the Iraq War, but in the Iraqi setting after the Iraq War. So yeah, thanks for that recommendation. I'm definitely going to get on that. So just to finish this up, these two had a falling out after I mean, you can go deep into this story. Bottom line is the original artist on this was had abused his wife and children. He got kicked off. He's still getting royalties. And I think there was a blow up between the two of them over whether he was going to get the original artist back or not. And it's a he said, she said. There might be more to that. I don't mean to choose sides by saying that, but bottom line is it's sad to see her go, but I do like the new artist on this, and I do like the way Rat Queens is still going. And I think Curtis J. Wiebe is an awesome author. And I think that's an awesome cover. Glad to have found that. Continuing Saga, it's a cliche at this point to say how underrated this is, because every issue is really good. But it is dragging maybe a little bit. I mean, even though every issue is good, it's almost like every issue can't be good, because to be good, you want every issue to have like some emotional impact. And it's hard to get an emotional impact issue after issue. You kind of have to build, but as they build, they lose readers. So I don't know. Still really good. Artwork is still impeccable, but it might be time to wrap it up. I think they're going to like, hey, Doomsday. I think they're going to like 100, but who knows? Hey, for those of you who are just joining us, Trinity and Doomsday, we started off talking about World Cup. So if you've got a World Cup team, if you're into World Cup, if you hate World Cup, let us know. There's my team right there, England. We're in the semifinals, so we've got 2 more games to win to get a second star. My one of my good friends was over earlier watching a game with me, and as soon as I'm finished here, I'm heading on over to his house to watch the Croatian game. He's a big Croatia fan. If Croatia wins, don't follow soccer. You can follow football. That's just a little world sport snobbery there. Cool though. It's a lot of fun. I'll tell you, this World Cup has been one of the best I've seen, like even compared to other World Cups. But anyway, everybody's got their stuff that they're into. Aquaman 19 from the New 52. I got this with that Marvel Point 1. Trinity, you want to tell us who the first appearance in this is? It says, behold the new King of Atlantis. So I think there's a first appearance here, but I'm not sure who it is. So Trinity's not a soccer fan, and Doomsday, it is exhausting, screaming my lungs off and going to the bars or watching at home. It's tiring and it's time consuming. But you either love it or you don't. King Nereus. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. I didn't know. Not a big Aquaman fan. I got that Flash cover. Just picked that up for cover price. Thought that was pretty cool. The one before that was better, just like the Batgirl 23 was better than the Batgirl 24. But I don't have either of those. But here we go. Pow! Look at that. Selena Kyle. Black and white. And it's not even a sketch cover. It's just a black and white cover. Oh, Dolph Lundgren. All right, that's cool. Yeah, this is my absolute favorite of the 3. I think that is just gorgeous. I mean, there is an intense amount of personality in that face, right? I mean, that's, is she smiling at you? What is she thinking? There's some Mona Lisa like questioning going on there. Really cool. I've got the trade at my LCS, which I haven't been to this week because I've been too busy. So I'm not going to open and read these. There's the Virgin variant. Don't love that. I mean, I really like comparing the 2. I like that one a heck of a lot more than that one, to be honest with you. Yeah, Audrey Hepburn, I would totally give you that there. Audrey Hepburn is at least an inspiration for that. So yeah, hey Doomsday, I'm not that into Flash. If you've got a trade you want to make, I'd be happy to let that go. Let me know. Pope Grimy, if you're watching this, I know you mentioned that you missed out on the Hans Miss Marvel. I got 5 of them now, so let me know if you want one. The color is my favorite. Want to trade it? So you're saying a virgin color for the black and white? I very well might. Trinity, let me think on that and get back to you. So that's a good possibility. Let me think on that. I was kind of going to keep the black and white and sell the other 2. I don't know. So the last one in that, and I actually might like this better than the Virgin. Just having the Batman there, you know, it's what are they got a new name for these where they almost have nothing written but just a tiny little bit, right? And then down the bottom. So I don't know if you can see it. There's, yeah, right there, right where my finger's covering. You can see it's not, I know it's white, so you don't say color breaking. You can see the dimple there where the light catches it on the bag, but there's a little bit of a bend there. It could probably be pressed out, but I don't think this is a comic that's worth enough in value to press out. So that kind of bummed me out that I got that. Yeah, so I paid 50 for the three Trinity. The trade dress, yeah, that's yeah, I paid 50 for the three of them from Salesfish Comic, and they also threw in DC Nation #0, which which is cool though. It had the Salesfish logo on it. So I and like printed on the cover, not like a stamp. So it was like a store, a store. What's the word I'm looking for? A store variant. Anyway, like I said, those are really awesome. Trinity, I'll seriously give that some thought, man. That'd be cool. Hey, Pop Dot Comics. You're a big wrestling fan. What about football? You got a World Cup team you're going for? Because this is all about World Cup and comics. Let's hear what you got to say there, JoJo. Yeah, Trinity, I'll think about that, and we'll talk a bit more. Like I said, Doomsday. If you want that Flash, if there's something that you got that I want, I'd be happy to make a trade. I picked it up because it's cool, but I don't follow Flash. I don't read Flash, so I'm not like beholden to that. I just thought it was a cool cover. All right, save this for last, because it's large and I didn't want to put it on top of the comics pile, but thought I should go over this because I had wanted this for a while. I got it. I sold a lot of trades for store credit at a local comic shop because we're trying to clear out stuff for the move, which will happen, fingers crossed. This is an amazing original graphic novel. Emil Ferris, sorry, she wrote and drew this. And when you hear like magnum opus, I can imagine it took her 3 or 4 years to draw this. Everything is pencil drawings with cross hatching. And the artwork and the story are just gorgeous. I mean, there are pages and pages and pages of stuff like this. And the story is absolutely amazing. It's about this girl in Chicago in the 1960s. She thinks of herself as a monster. She loves monsters. Her brother, who's this artist and is older, gets her monster magazine all the time. And there's a murder in her apartment. And she's got to kind of figure out, like, it's a detective story, but also an homage to the Art Institute of Chicago, where the author went. They go into stuff all about art and symbolism, and it's just a beautifully written story. Just absolutely sick artwork. I mean, and everything is written as if it was written. If you can look, you see the lined pages here. So the idea is that this is just a loose leaf binder that she's writing in as a girl. If you can get yourself a copy of this, I mean, this is 40, and the only way I got it was because I was able to do the trades, right? I sold them back to the store for store credit, bunch of trades of like Fables and other stuff that I've read that I've either got the comics for that I didn't need. So every chapter begins with a cover of a magazine. I don't know if it's a real magazine or if it's just a made up one called Ghastly that her brother would buy her each week. So it's like everything is kind of in a monster setting. I can't go on enough about how good this is. There's a secret room in their basement that she's not allowed to go into, and it's locked. I mean, just can you imagine doing this by pencil and writing? And I mean, this is a thick book, and every page is like beautifully, exquisitely drawn. And I believe it's all pencil cross hatching. At least that's what it looks like. So I cannot recommend this highly enough. This is not Superman. This is not a wedding that may or may not have happened. This is not X-Men Red, Blue, Green, and Gold. This is a totally encapsulated story, something totally different, but it is just amazing and just beautiful. Show you one more page. I haven't even gotten up to this. So I haven't read this far yet, but it's just, absolutely amazing. I'm loving this. I'm like only 2 or 3 chapters in, but I cannot recommend this highly enough. My favorite thing is monsters. Cannot recommend that highly enough. All right. So I'm just going to put this out there. I am closing in on my Miss Marvel Volume 3 run. I need 2. Right now at school, the color version, the Color Art Adams #1 is waiting for me. I just got to drive down to school, pick it up because I got it shipped towards the end of the year, and I had stuff shipped to school when I was working. I need that Melina variant #2, the bubblegum one. Obviously, I don't expect anybody to see that, but the other one that I can't find, if anybody ever sees #5 second printing, right? So #1 went 8 printings, #2 went, I think, 3 printings, #3 went 2, #4 went 2, and #5 went 2 printings. I'm looking for the second printing of #5. It's not hard to find in that it's rare or worth anything. I think it's just hard to find in that nobody has it. I don't know how many they printed. That's the one comic that I'm having trouble finding. The other one I'm having trouble affording. But if anybody's got #5 second print or sees it in the back issue bin, let me know. I would be super psyched to grab that up, to make a trade with you. Doomsday, I guess you're gone, but if you're watching this later, I got that Flash I could trade. Pope, Grimy, if you're ever watching this, let me know if you want that Miss Marvel. I'd be glad to send you one. Like I said, I got 4 more waiting for me at school. And I think that's it. It's 11:18, so I'm missing 18 minutes of the game. I'm going to head out to my friend's house and start watching Croatia because he came over at 7 this morning to support me and support England. So that's it. Jojo, thanks for stopping by. Jeremy, take care. Miss Hustle and Doomsday, thanks for stopping by. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.